after all the hell the narcissist put you through, it's still difficult after the discard to truly believe that this person was a narcissist, that they really didn't feel what you feel. They didn't form bonds, that they really hurt you and knew they were hurting you. And a lot of times when you think about that, you think about all the pain and the trauma that you've been through, part of that grief and part of that suffering is the illusion of hope. Still hoping somewhere in the back of your mind that it was a mistake, that you somehow miscalculated, that you got it wrong. You hope for that, but you also are terrified of that. Because if this person who you loved and poured your heart into and invested in moves on and treats the new supply better, then it reinforces this idea in your mind that maybe you were the problem. Maybe you did something wrong. And that is precisely what the narcissist wants. They want to create in your mind reasonable doubt, to doubt yourself. And that's what they did all throughout the relationship dynamic. When they projected onto you, when they gaslighted you, when they ran a smear campaign on you, triangulated against you, all of that was to break your reality. It was to get you to believe that you were the problem, because that made it easier for them to control you. And depending on how long you were in that abusive cycle with them, you've been conditioned to still carry that belief that you were the problem. And so a lot of times you get caught up in this idea of proving beyond a reasonable doubt that they, in fact, are a narcissist. And you look for closure in the whole situation, everything that transpired in that relationship. You look for closure in that diagnosis, for some sort of verifiable data to say they, in fact, were the problem. But here's the problem with that way of thinking. As long as you look for them to do something, or for somebody to say, well, yes, they were the problem because now I see that they have a bad relationship with the new supplier, or they went off and did this or did that, you have still given them control. You've surrendered control to the narcissist, because your closure, your peace, and your ability to move on is dependent on what they do. And so instead of having that mindset, you want to switch your mindset to what you control by focusing on your experience, because you alone, really, even if you explain it to family members and friends, you alone know what happened in that relationship. You are the subject matter expert for your life. You know what you went through. The difference is, when you were in that relationship, you viewed everything that transpired through a lens of trauma, through a lens that the narcissist created, through their narrative, where they were in control, superior, someone who loved you, and you were defective, broken, and in need of repair. So when you are out of the fog, when you transcend the fog of lies, and you look back on that situation through eyes of clarity, when the clouds clear and you have a clear vision of what was going on, and you look back at everything that transpired with eyes of clarity, let that clarity and your understanding of everything you suffered, let that be your closure. Let your own validation close the book on that horrific chapter of your life.